Hey there YouTube lovers, my name is BB8 and today I am going to review Overwatch 2 again. Since it's been out for a year now, I thought why not get back into Overwatch 2, review it and see what new features the game has brought in since its launch. Now, you're probably wondering, BB8, didn't you already review Overwatch 2 last year? Well, you're absolutely right. I did. But however, the game has seen some amazing updates in the past year with the introduction of story missions, hero mastery, and flashpoint mode, and so much more. Last time, my review clocked in at 25 minutes and 30 seconds, but this time, we're going deeper. Because we're going to talk about the new heroes, the seasons, and all the new gameplay elements that have emerged since the launch of Overwatch 2. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Before we get into the review itself, I would like to introduce the new gimmick that has been brought into my review videos called the 1 year later gimmick. But what exactly does this mean? A 1 year later review is a unique take on game reviews that applies specifically to free-to-play games, unlike regular game reviews, which provide a snapshot of a game's performance and features at the time of its release. The 1 year later review takes a different approach. So here's everything you need to know about the 1 year later gimmick. It will focus on free-to-play games, a genre that's constantly evolving and changing over time, because free-to-play games often receive updates, patches, and new content long after their initial release. A 1 year later review may give me a chance to have a second look at the game as we revisit a free-to-play game approximately 1 year after I initially reviewed it, and this extended period allows us to thoroughly explore how the game has evolved and improved since its launch. And our aim with these reviews is to provide a genuine impression of the game's state 1 year down the line. And we consider factors such as gameplay changes, the addition of new content, improvements or setbacks in performance, and the overall community experience. But these are not annual reviews, because it is important to note that 1 year later reviews are not a part of an annual cycle. If I have a reason to revisit Overwatch 2 a year from today, then maybe I will do a year 2 review in 2024. But if there's a particular reason to revisit the game, such as a major update or an anniversary celebration, we won't be revisiting the same game every year unless there are substantial changes to warrant it. And as of now, we've only had the opportunity to conduct a 1 year later review for Overwatch 2, since it's the only free-to-play game I've reviewed on the channel so far, besides F099, which I reviewed not too long ago. And as the landscape of gaming continues to evolve, you can expect more of these unique reviews when they are relevant, when there's something exciting to explore in the world of free-to-play gaming. So don't expect another 1 year later review within the next year. I might do one for F099 in September of 2024. But that's the only 1 year later review I might do for a game. So with all that being said, let's get into the review, shall we? For the gameplay, I feel like it's unnecessary to go through the gameplay again because I already explained it in my review I did around the time it launched. But we did get a lot of new modes along the way, such as the return of Assault mode through Arcade, but I don't think I really need to explain Assault mode if you already know what that is. But the new modes I'm going to explain, such as the ones that came with events and permanent modes. I'm going to go through them one by one. So the first event mode we ended up getting is Junkenstein's Revenge, Wrath of the Bride. Because when we first encountered Wrath of the Bride, it offered a promising glimpse into the potential of Overwatch 2's PvE offerings. The mode stood out for its storytelling elements, successfully weaving a short narrative into the gameplay, and this narrative-driven approach was a fresh take on the Overwatch universe, adding a bit of lore to Junkenstein's Revenge itself, drawing players into deeper engagement within Junkenstein's Revenge mode. And one intriguing aspect of Wrath of the Bride was its attempt at inducing jump scares. While these moments were commendable effort to inject surprise and excitement into the game, some players, such as myself, find that they didn't quite deliver the anticipated thrills. It's worth considering how future PvE experiences might fine-tune these elements to create more immersive and suspenseful atmosphere. One of the standout features of Wrath of the Bride is the character restrictions. We are limited to just 4 heroes, including Junker Queen, who takes the role as the Butcher, Ash, who takes the role as the Outlaw, Sojourn, who takes the role as the Sleuth, and Kiriko, who takes the role as the Fortune Teller. This limitation added an intriguing layer of strategy into the game, forcing players to adapt and experiment with characters they may not commonly use, and it's a concept reminiscent of the Archives event, and it is a welcome addition when it comes to Halloween, which does encourage players to explore new heroes, combinations, and play styles. And if Junkenstein's Revenge Wrath of the Bride does return this month during Halloween, I'll play it again. Battle for Olympus differs from the narrative-driven Wrath of the Bride mode that graced us during Halloween, but Battle of Olympus does take a different approach, offering a unique twist on the traditional deathmatch mode. What sets it apart from its infusion of Greek mythology, bringing a layer of excitement to the table. In Battle for Olympus, you'll find yourself amid the breathtaking mythological arena, with only 7 heroes to choose from. Among them, 3 of them can be unlocked in the in-game shop that you can use anytime in any match, while the remaining 4 are exclusive rewards from Season 2's Battle Pass. Each hero receives a thematic makeover to stay true to the Battle for Olympus mode, turning them into iconic figures from Greek mythology. Among the transformed heroes are Reinhardt as the Minotaur, Roadhog taking the role of Cyclops, and Widowmaker, who embodies Medusa. The real showstopper, though, is Junker Queen, who ascends to the status of Zeus, and with the jaw-dropping mythic skin. Lucio becomes Hermes, Farah becomes Hades, and Ramatra becomes Poseidon. Playing Battle for Olympus was fun, and it quickly became a favourite of mine. And as we look forward to the Overwatch 2 anniversary events in the years to come, I can't help but for the mode to return in the future. While it may not outshine some other theme modes like Star Watch, which I am going to get to in a sec, Battle for Olympus did leave an impression on me, reminding me of the endless possibilities of event modes that Overwatch 2 can bring within its seasons. Among all the new modes introduced in Overwatch 2 so far, Star Watch is my personal favourite. In this game mode, Overwatch players are treated to an exhilarating 4v4 experience set within the transformed Horizon lunar colony, where two distinct factions, the Infinite Empire and the Watchers, collide in an epic battle for supremacy. What sets Star Watch apart from other game modes, such as Battle for Olympus, is the infusion of PvE elements. This blend of PvE and PvP action creates a unique and dynamic gaming experience, and it's this unique twist that firmly placed in Star Watch within the top of my list as of the themed modes we've got so far. One of the defining characteristics of Star Watch is the hero selection system, similar to Wrath of the Bride and Battle for Olympus. The heroes offered within this mode are as followed: Sigma, taking the role of the Galactic Emperor; D.VA, taking Infinite Ace, which definitely has to be my favourite skin from Season 4; Bastion as the Infinite Annihilator; Sojourn as the Infinite Admiral; Soldier 76 as the Infinite Guard; Brigitte as the Royal Captain and Infinite Seer. Bringing healing and support to the team itself, but on the other side, the Watchers are equally compelling, featuring Winston, the extraterrestrial; Wrecking Ball, the asteroid; Ash, the intergalactic smuggler; Torbjorn, the starship engineer; and Lucio, the space prince; and Baptiste, the bounty hunter. Each hero's unique abilities and characteristics do add a bit of layer of strategy and excitement to the gameplay itself. And reflecting on Overwatch 2's journey and its 4th season, I may not consider Season 4 as my favourite, but Star Watch unquestionably shines as the crowning jewel. The dynamic blend of PvE and PvP elements, combined with the intriguing hero selection system and immersive galactic setting, makes Star Watch Galactic Rescue a standout experience for me. So those are the event modes. So what about the new permanent modes that were brought into the game? Well, starting off with Flashpoint, the core objective of Flashpoint is for teams to capture 3 different flashpoints to secure victory. What sets this mode apart from others is the dynamic nature. As soon as the flashpoint is captured, a new one materializes on the map. This unique feature keeps players on their toes, encouraging adaptability and constant engagement throughout the match, with the potential for up to 5 flashpoints to appear during a single match. Each game becomes an exciting race to control the ever-shifting battlefield. Interestingly, Flashpoint's gameplay may evoke a sense of nostalgia for fans of the Halo series, particularly Halo 5 Strongholds mode, which did return in Infinite as well. The parallel between these modes lies in their focus of strategic capture points, making positioning, teamwork, and map control key factors for success. And for Overwatch 2 players, Flashpoint may feel a bit new and a thrilling twist on the classic Overwatch formula, which does challenge teams to adapt and conquer this dynamic battlefield. Now, Hero Mastery is a game-changing addition to Overwatch 2, offering an accessible and engaging way for both newcomers and seasoned players to enhance their hero-specific skills. For those who are new to the game or wish to hone their abilities with a particular hero, Hero Mastery is ideal to use as a training ground for the heroes you don't commonly use, because this mode eliminates the pressure of entering a live game and allows players to focus solely on improving the hero of their choice. In Hero Mastery, each player is provided with a set of dedicated training courses, each of them designed with its own unique layouts and challenges. This thoughtful approach ensures that players can truly immerse themselves in the intricacies of each selected hero, and Hero Mastery does include a tiered difficulty system consisting of recruit, agent, and veteran levels. Players start their journey with recruit mode, and as they progress to demonstrate their mastery of a hero, they can unlock more challenging difficulties. And one of the standout features of Hero Mastery is the star-based rating system, as stars serve as the reflection of a player's performance on each course. Taking into account their score and speed at which they complete the challenges, and earning more stars signifies a higher level and proficiency with the hero, making it a fun and motivating way to track your improvement over time. Although Hero Mastery mode was initially rolled out during Overwatch 2 Season 6 in September of 2023, it was limited to a select group of heroes, including Reinhardt, Tracer, and Mercy. However, the Overwatch team has made a commitment to expanding this exciting feature to the entire roster in future patches. Sojourn and Winston were among the heroes to follow shortly after, and I am eagerly waiting for more heroes to get added to Hero Mastery mode, because I do think Hero Mastery mode does add more replay value to Overwatch 2, and I am excited to see what a D.VA course would look like. Before we talk about the new heroes that the game has to offer, I now want to dive into the area that triggered me to do another review for Overwatch 2, and that's the story missions. While the cancellation of Overwatch 2's initial PvE mode have left some players very disappointed, myself included, a phoenix still rose from the ashes in the form of story missions, because these missions started to grace the Overwatch 2 landscape at the beginning of Season 6, introducing a fresh layer of narrative depth to the game. And one concern that might have crossed my mind is the potential transcends of these missions. But fear not, once you've purchased these story missions, they become a permanent fixture in your Overwatch 2 account. So there's no need to fear about them vanishing into the digital ether once the season concludes. Currently, there are 3 enthralling story missions available as of my recording. The following, we have Resistance, set in Rio, Liberation, unfolding in Toronto, and Ironclad, taking place in Gothenburg. Each of these missions has their own unique charm, offering players a chance to explore different facets of the Overwatch world, with Ironclad leaving us hanging on to the edge of this narrative precipice. Because Ironclad was left on a cliffhanger with Sombra, and it's hard to deny that I did enjoy these story missions, and their addition did breathe a bit of new life into Overwatch 2, immersing myself in rich immersive storytelling that I do come to love within the Overwatch world. The excitement is palpable, and many of us may eagerly be waiting the promise of more missions in future seasons, which I am hoping we get more missions, because I really enjoyed the 3 missions we got, so I'm hoping we get some more in the future. And I'm eagerly anticipating the next chapter of this captivating narrative journey, so I am curious to see what the future holds for story missions, because I really enjoyed it. And now we're moving on to the second section of the video, which is dedicated to the heroes. And we're going to start off the section with hero progression. Introduced in Season 6, this system doesn't confer to any in-game advantages, but its impact on the player engagement is undeniable. Think of it as a homage to Overwatch 1's leveling system, which meticulously tracked each player's progress, but however, hero progression does take this concept further, focusing on individual heroes, roles, and game modes. In essence, hero progression functions as an award system, rewarding players for their dedication to specific heroes. And these accolades are not merely superficial, they manifest as badges that proudly accompany your hero portrait and battle tag throughout the game. And this visual representation of your achievements is a fantastic way to celebrate the prowess of your chosen hero, and each hero in Overwatch 2 possesses a unique title that states the baseline recruit level, and the key to ascending through the ranks lies in completing various challenges tailored to each hero. Whether it's mastering a precise headshot with Widowmaker, effectively supporting your team's Mercy, or conquering objectives with Reinhardt's steadfast defense, there's a challenge for everyone within each hero. While it's important to note that the hero progression system does not alter the gameplay itself, it serves as a canvas for players to express their admiration for their beloved heroes. It's a platform to showcase your dedication, your time invested into Overwatch, and your commitment to honing your skills with a specific hero. And Overwatch 2's hero progression system is more than just a cosmetic feature, it's a testament to the passionate Overwatch community and their unwavering connection to the game's iconic characters. So, when you boot up the game, You can embrace the hero progression and let your favorite heroes shine like never before. And now we're gonna get into the heroes themselves. So they've brought out 6 heroes since Overwatch 2 launched, being Sojourn, Junker Queen, Kiriko, Ramatra, Life Weaver, and Allari. Sojourn, who is a familiar face from the original Overwatch, continues to shine as a former Overwatch captain, and her kit, meticulously crafted for planning, leadership, and executing precise strikes against this opposition. Sojourn offers players a distinct mid-range gameplay experience, complemented by a toolkit that boasts an impressive mobility and artillery capabilities. While I had high hopes for Junker Queen's moveset, I found it challenging to fully embrace, and additionally, her skin choices. I wasn't really the biggest fan of her skin choices, with the exception of the striking Zeus skin. And the Junker Queen is designed to thrive in close combat encounters with enemy heroes, which Junker Queen may be a bit different to what I'm used to, because I'm more into ranged heroes like D.VA or Kiriko. So it was hard to get used to Junker Queen for me, really. And her abilities inflict that steadily drain the health of her adversaries, bolstering her surviving and aggression. In the realm of tank heroes, she can be linked to a berserker tank whose resilience is directly tied to the number of foes she wounds. Now, Kiriko, among the new heroes, is definitely my personal favourite of the new ones. Her captivating moveset, visually appealing skins, intriguing lore, and relatable character portrayal in the trailers and the gameplay all contribute to why Kiriko is my favourite of the new heroes. She assumes the role of the Kunoichi healer, aided by her trusty Kitsune spirit. She wields Protection Suzu to shield allies and kunai strike down foes, and notably, she shares a special connection with the Shimada family and has trained alongside Genji and Hanzo in her early days. Ramatra introduces a dual form concept to Overwatch 2. His Omnic form, where he serves as the protector of his teammates, wielding the staff as his primary weapon, but however, when he transforms into his Nemesis form, he becomes a formidable and opposing threat, leading the charge against the enemy team. His adaptability between these two forms offers diverse strategic possibilities. Life Weaver, hailing from Thailand, Life Weaver is a scientist on a mission to heal the world using his BB8's technology, merging from the aesthetics of nature with the precision of science. And Life Weaver embodies an intelligent and inquisitive adventurer. His goal is to leverage BB8's technology to foster a positive change into the world, making it a better place for all. And for the new hero, the latest hero to the roster is Allari. Allari is a vessel for the power of the sun, with solar threads intricately woven throughout her body. Harnessing the sun's energy, she wreaks havoc behind enemy lines as a formidable force. But however, beneath her relentless vigilante persona lies a tormented past that drives her to make amends at any cost. The new heroes we have with Overwatch 2 may have been difficult to experience for me, but Kiriko was probably the one I liked the most. And it is interesting to see the new areas of the Overwatch universe they explore with these heroes. And I am excited to see what Season 8's tank hero is, as that is going to be revealed at BlizzCon in October. And for the final section before we get into the summary is the seasons section. Much like the other successful live service games such as Fortnite have all embraced the concept of seasonal updates, and this approach ensures that the game remains fresh and exciting for players. With new content dropping every 9 weeks, these seasons rotate between introducing new maps and new heroes, keeping the gameplay experience dynamic and engaging. And each season of Overwatch 2 comes with its own theme and a generous offering for up to 80 tiers of cosmetics in the Battle Pass, giving plenty of reasons to dive into action. So the first season, which released at launch on the 4th of October 2022, was a cybernetics theme. The inaugural season of Overwatch 2, which began in October of 2022, was themed around cybernetics. It marked the introduction of heroes including Sojourn, Junker Queen, and Kiriko, and among the standout cosmetic items was the mythic skin known as Cyber Demon Genji, a coveted award within the Battle Pass, and this season held a special place for me because I did miss out on getting the Cyber Demon Genji skin, because I was 1 tier away from getting it before the season concluded. Season 2, which released on December 6th, 2022, was a Greek mythology theme, which brought it a fresh new theme inspired by Greek mythology. This season, players were introduced to Ramatra, along with the highly sought after mythic skin for Junker Queen. The infusion of Greek mythology into Overwatch 2's vibrant world added a fresh new layer of depth to the game's lore. Season 3, which released on February the 7th, 2023, had an Asian mythology theme and the One Punch Man collab, which took players on a journey into Asian mythology. Kiriko took the spotlight this time as the mythic skin, receiving a stunning mythic skin. However, I missed out on this season's Battle Pass due to moving house and lack of internet until late March. Notably, Season 3 also marked Overwatch 2's first collab, bringing the iconic One Punch Man franchise into the game, and this crossover was the thrilling addition for fans of the webcomic, manga, and anime series. Season 4, which released on April the 11th, 2023, being a space opera theme. Season 4 featured a captivating space opera theme, with Lifeweaver being introduced as the new hero this season, with Sigma receiving the mythic skin. And this season also introduced the exciting Star Watch feature, which is my favourite event mode so far, adding an astronomical twist to Overwatch 2. And Season 4 mainly is a standout for the starter pack skin being Infinite Ace D.VA, which is probably the reason why I bought the starter pack, that season was just for the D.Va skin. And Season 5, which released on June 13th, 2023, brought in a fantasy theme and the Quest Watch gimmick. Season 5, which brought the captivating fantasy theme that left fans enchanted, and one of the standout features for me this season was the introduction of the Quest Watch gimmick in the Battle Pass. A truly innovative and immersive addition, and this one sets Season 5 apart from its predecessors, was the Battle Pass's unique storytelling approach. As players progressed through the Battle Pass, they were treated to a Dungeons and Dragons style narrative, which unfolded as each tier achieved. This storytelling element added a new layer of depth to the game, making it a truly immersive experience. And personally, Season 5 holds a special place for me as not only my favourite season in Overwatch 2, but also had a ripple effect on my many interests outside of gaming. Because the Quest Watch gimmick was a brilliant stroke in creativity, pulling players into a rich and fantastical narrative world that paralleled the gameplay. It felt like embarking on an epic adventure within the Overwatch universe, and it kept me hooked like never before. This immersive experience was the key factor that persuaded me to invest more time into the game, strengthening my bond within the Overwatch community. And interestingly, the Quest Watch gimmick also had an unexpected impact on my interests beyond gaming, since it did inspire me to explore Dungeons and Dragons a bit more. While I was initially skeptical about the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves, since the trailers didn't really convince me, I decided to give it another chance after experiencing the storytelling magic in Overwatch 2, and to my surprise, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves was one of my biggest cinematic surprises of 2023. I even started a Paramount Plus trial just to watch it. And besides Disney and Pixar's Elemental and Blue Beetle, this definitely was my biggest cinematic surprise of 2023. And now we get on to the final season, the latest season being Season 6, being themed after Null Sector, which released on the 10th of August 2023. And Alari was introduced as the new hero, while Ana received the Mythic skin. And this season marked a transition in nomenclature as Overwatch 2 decided to adopt named seasons from this point forward, since Season 6 was named Invasion, and as I'm recording this, Season 7, titled Rise of Darkness, will drop on October the 10th, 2023. And now we're getting into the summary. The gameplay, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Because 1 year after the launch of Overwatch 2, the gameplay has received a significant boost in its score, primarily attributed to Hero Mastery Mode and the engaging story missions. And these additions have breathed new life into the game's core mechanics, earning its rating. The graphics, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, because the graphics are still the same. Nothing's changed about the graphics since launch. The characters I'm going to give it an 8.2 out of 10, because the character roster in Overwatch 2, despite the introduction of heroes like Ramatra, Lightweaver, and Olari, has taken a slight dip in the ratings since last year, landing at an 8.2 out of 10. But however, the game continues to boast a diverse and intricate lineup of heroes, offering ample opportunities for engaging gameplay. The content, I'm going to give it an 8.3 out of 10, since Overwatch 2's content score has risen over the past year, primarily due to the addition of Hero Mastery, which has injected more replay value into the game. And this enhancement has players engaged for coming back for more. For the seasons, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, because the game has had a decent lineup of seasons in its first year, with Season 5 being the standout thanks to the Quest Watch gimmick. But however, some seasons have marred by less than stellar battle passes, resulting in the overall score of 7 out of 10. For the online, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The online experience in Overwatch 2 has evolved significantly since launch, offering more engaging activities than before, thanks to Hero Mastery, story missions, and the introduction of new heroes. For the versions, before we continue on with the summary, I thought I'd want to introduce the new version system. The version system is making its comeback to BB8's House Reviews after the hiatus since the launch of Overwatch 2. With the upcoming review of LEGO 2K Drive, we've decided to give a fresh overhaul to provide our readers with a more comprehensive understanding on the game's performance on different platforms. Each platform will be assigned a rating from 1 to 10, indicating its performance. For example, you'll see something like PlayStation 5 getting a rating of 8 out of 10, giving you a clear idea on how well the game runs on a specific platform. And the version system will not be used on platform exclusive games, as we believe in keeping it relevant and focused on titles available on multiple platforms, or titles I've tried on more than one platform. And additionally, if I've only played the game on one platform, I won't include the version system in the review. And for the PlayStation 5 version, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. The PlayStation 5 version of the game remains unchanged from its launch and continues to offer an immersive experience thanks to its adaptive triggers and haptic feedback. So, for example, you can feel D.VA using the guns on her mech, and Kiriko throwing her kunais and healing a Fuda, which does make the PlayStation 5 version a bit more immersive than the other versions. And for the Xbox Series X version, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Because similar to the PlayStation 5 version, the Xbox Series X version has also remained consistent since launch. Like, the graphics in this version are amazing, but the only reason it gets an 8 and not an 8.5 probably contributes to the DualSense controller on the PlayStation 5. For the Nintendo Switch version, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Because the Switch version has not seen any significant changes since launch, and because of rendering delay and running at a resolution of 30 frames per second. What makes the Switch version unique has to be its gyro controls. And for the PC version, which I didn't get to review last year, but my personal PC, lacking the dedicated graphics card, has affected the game's performance, resulting in a 5.5 out of 10. As it is important to note, when it comes to the PC version of Overwatch 2, it mainly depends on your PC's hardware. The length, I'm going to give it 5 to 10 minutes per match, as the matches in Overwatch 2 do vary in length depending on how long the match is carried. The difficulty, I'm going to give it a hard, because it sometimes may be difficult to master some heroes, which does add a bit of depth and complexity to the gameplay, catering to both casual and competitive players. And for the perk, although Overwatch 2 is a free-to-play title, it still holds its collector perk from last year. And if physical ownership was an option, I would own it. And this reflects on the quality and appeal as a premium game. While it may not reach certified gold like Overwatch 1, Overwatch 2 is, in my opinion, the best free-to-play game available right now. Despite the negative reviews going around on Steam, it's just getting unnecessary hate. I don't understand why people are going hard on it. And overall, I give Overwatch 2, a year after its launch, an 8.9 out of 10. Overwatch 2 has seen a notable improvement in its overall score, climbing from an 8.6 at launch to an 8.9. This is largely thanks to the addition of story missions and hero mastery mode, which have breathed new life into the game. Despite some unfair criticism and review bombing on Steam over the cancellation of hero missions, Overwatch 2 remains a highly accessible and enjoyable free-to-play title, and it is held to my attention due to its rich lore, engaging gameplay, and the introduction of new features like progression and story missions all contribute to increased replay value. So guys, what did you think of my 1 year later review for Overwatch 2? I might do another one a year from now. If something new gets added to the game that catches my attention, I will do a year 2 review. But the only thing that got my attention to do a year 1 review is probably story missions and the PvE being cancelled. So, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss another review video like this one. And I will see you all in a future video. BB8 out.